a pouch over it to not have it lit up?
No, I can wear it around my neck.
Okay. I was just thinking, what does
I use the tip of my my staff for party favors and stuff too, because I can use prestidigitation to like make sparks and stuff come out, kind of like
Yeah, I know.
what's his name from Lord of the Rings? I can't remember his name. Ganondorf.
Mm-hmm.
That's not right.
Gandalf.
Gandalf. What the fuck was I thinking?
Right. Yeah,
Ganondorf.
oh wait, we have three. Do we have three gold necklaces already?
Yeah, there's
Yes, we
3
do.
gold necklaces, but they're not lockets.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get some lockets over at Waterdeep since you're there. I'm gonna say you can get a decent pair of plain lockets for about 20 gold pieces each.
Hidden guards here, I think.
Yes, he is.
That would take up our platinum pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have one gem left over and use up the platinum that way. And then figure out what to split with the rest of the sales.
Okay.
Alright, so let's put on that and we'll each get a light locket. Dave, just so you know, what we're going to do is cast the lights, the continual flame, inside the locket.
Okay.
So when it's closed, it doesn't light. The light doesn't show, but when somebody wants it, they open it and it'll act like a torch.
Okay. I'm going to say that Grodark, who was which one it was you, Warren, that no, not Warren, Scrawl that was doing it?
Yeah, I can just cast Continual Flame as a spell.
Okay. As you manage, I'm going to say that you spend a day to construct the lockets and everything, and I'm going to say that you did make the you did create the lockets, and you gained 140 experience points while you're doing it. So
Okay.
let's see here. Yeah, I award experience points for such clever thinking like that.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so me, Warren, and Dave all have these amulets. We'll just call them light lockets.
Okay. Okay, Bren, you can do that. Disguise kit, poisoner's kit, and studded armor. That would be. I'm going to say that will be standard price.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've used up the platinum pieces because 4 times 5 is 20. That leaves us with the 1 gemstone at 100. Mm-hmm. If we want to, if somebody wants to make to see if we can sell one of the light limit lockets, or if we want an extra one, if somebody wants to drop another gold piece, what is it? Whatever another locket would cost. And I can make another one if we want to stay or if we want to sell one.
I can drop some money for that, so we can sell it.
Do we want to drop it out of the fund after we sell everything?
Oh, you mean add it to the community fund?
No, we split whatever we can right now. Like we sell the jewelry box, we sell the necklace, the 3 necklaces, we sell the 100 GP gem, and then we split that. And then we drop the other locket off of that, and then we split.
Yeah.
So if you get on to, does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Alright, so somebody do the math.
We'll split it 6 ways, right? Or are we gonna?
Yeah, just split it 6 ways, my good friend.
Okay. Okay, I'll add it all up and I'll tell everybody what the final is.
Remember, the platinum pieces are used, and we only have one of the 100 GP gems left.
Yep, got it.
Okay, I need to let you know a little bit of a warning that we are, according to the module, we are officially off the rails. I'm gonna be winging it for a while.
Oh, we'll be back on the rails in no time, don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't expect anyone to just travel on foot.
We didn't take the horses.
I mean, on horses, you know. On officially, you would have encountered a cloud giant's castle that would have took you over there. But since you've already planned on going upriver.
Yeah, we went the wrong way. Oh well.
No problem. I had a side quest that'll help you. That'll fill up the gap.
All right,
Plan ahead.
So I think the total was 962, right?
Yeah, I basically split it up, and everybody gets 161 gold and 30 silver each.
Okay.
And I'm now clearing the party pool.
Alright, and we have that extra amulet. What do we want to do with it? Do we want to try to sell that, or do we want to keep it in case we need it for something?
I think we should keep it.
Okay, so put that in the fund. Unless you want one, unless you want it.
No. What did we call it?
Light locket?
What?
Light locket?
Okay.
While I'm in town, I'm sure I can find a temple of a temple of Tempest, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Alright, I will report what I found about the town, see if they can send any aid that way. As well as tell them that there's still the cloud giants around that might be problematic.
Right.
And we're sending messages over to this other town. Gold something or other. Golden Fields. We'll be sending it that way by river and let them know that. And if there's any supplies they might be able to spare, extra healing potions, or even if they have a wand around or scrolls.
Back at Nightstone.
No, in Waterdeep.
In Waterdeep, you can get healing potions. You can buy them at your standard rate with your you can get pretty much everything from the adventurers. Eventually equipment in your player's handbook for the standing price.
Right, I'm asking if they have anything to spare for this quest.
Unfortunately, no. You're gonna have to buy everything.
I'm going to spend the majority of the day cleaning everyone's clothes because you guys are filthy. Crawling around that dirty-ass cave all night.
Sheesh, yeah.
You're not taking my clothes.
I have a spell where I can clean it, like, on your body. Like, I don't take anyone's clothes off, because that would be weird.
I will hit a bathhouse while here and stuff.
Even in Waterdeep, she has a mask on.
Yes, we'll hide everything except the body.
Well, she's wearing like purpley, sort of darkish clothes and a red scarf, you know. And
What? No, you said you wear everything into the water except for take off everything but your mask.
yep.
You know, have a little modesty.
Yeah. Like, I go to the women's bathhouse and I go into the water with my mask on. There's no way I'm taking it off.
Because it won't let her.
Oh no, she can take it off, but she just doesn't like
Yes.
revealing her face.
Right.
Alright.
You probably didn't notice that, but the mask is doing whatever it can not to look like a pervert.
Don't tell me this mask is Jiraiya.
Alright, and that bag of holding had 3 other healing potions in it?
Right, yes.
Does everybody have at least 2 healing potions?
Bryn took 1 to make 2 for his inventory.
I got 3.
I know somebody else took 1 too.
Yeah, I have 1.
Oh, you can take it if you like.
Give 1 to the one that everyone has 1, so they have 2. So they have 2.
Here you go, my friend. Have one of mine.
And does that make everybody have 2, or what?
Yes.
And we have 2 left over, not handed out yet.
Okay.
Is that correct?
I'll put that in the pool.
Is that correct?
Yep, I got 2 now. I
I've
did
got
have
2.
3, but now I'll give 1 to my friend.
Okay, so we all have 2, and we have 2 spare.
Okay.
Okay, let us go up the river. Rolling up the river. Rolling. Rolling. Sorry.
Okay, you managed to, You managed to come up to here. When all of a sudden you hear some shouts and cries from up ahead. You round a corner, and in a road by the river, the road in the riverbank by the riverbanks, you see an old cart, perhaps 100 yards away. It is being pulled by a large draught horse and driven by a plainly dressed man and woman. There are several young children cowering, just huddled in the back. Dancing around the cart, singing and whooping, are 2 strange fey creatures. From the waist up, they appear to be human, save from the horns curling from their heads. However, their goat-like legs are covered with thick fur and end in hooves. The creatures laugh and jape a little bit as the family kind of like just sits there. The couple. I'm backing up here. The creatures laugh as they jab away at the family with short swords that shimmer and glint in the evening light. Their joy growing in counterpart to the humans' terror. Even as you watch, one of them casually dodges a pitchfork being inexpertly wielded by the man and nearly slices through the chair being jabbed at it by the screaming woman.
As this happens, I wish to get up. I shall activate my mage armor. No, wrong one. Not that one. Which one is it? My mage armor. Sorry, wrong one. Mage armor. And say, those people are in trouble. Let us go, my friends. And like, she jumps out of the boat onto dry land.
Mm-hmm.
Like a boss. You wish me to do athletics roll?
I'm going to say that the satyrs kind of like looked at you, and they kind of like stopped. They stopped their dancing and fluting. I mean, the dancing and singing and all that, and just plain looks right at this woman who's wearing this mask, and just plain just tilts their head, not knowing what to do with it.
Do we know if satyrs are evil in nature, or?
I'm going to let you take 10 on the history, and I'm going to say that they're not exactly evil as they are nefarious. They are known to they're more apt to charm people and let them and prompt them into doing some girls gone wild stuff.
What language are they speaking?
Combination of Common and Elvish.
Alright. I get off the boat onto dry land.
Mm-hmm.
I don't approach them directly, but I get up close enough where they can hear me speaking in Elvish. And I ask them what they're doing and why they're there.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
And why they think it's a good idea to start attacking common folk.
And just we find out they let's see here. One of them reaches up. There we go. Whoops. Play fighting. Well, they just started to they turn around over and sees that they've been see that a party's coming, and just says, "What do you want? We just want to have a little fun with these people. Let them show them up and have a good time." But they just plain wanted us keep. But they just wanted to They just plain don't mean that. They just plain just wanted to. Wanted. I mean, just wanted that. Well, man, I'm sorry, folks. My tongue's just plain crashed on me. They just let me come back here. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Does anyone hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Just take your time, Dave.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm ringing it. The satyrs just said that we don't want to give them any trouble. We just want to have them, let them know a good time. But they just need a little bit of encouragement.
Did they say that in common?
Satyrs, yeah.
Good satyrs! As long as that head at the end of a sword.
The satyrs just plain looked at the swords and just plain. They actually bend it, to reveal that it's just cardboard. Meanwhile, the cart just plain starts booking all the other way.
Alright, I'll use our enhance ability on myself to cast Eagle Splendor while I'm going off the boat. And if these satyrs want some fun, we can give it to them.
Ooh.
Or I can give them 10 gold pieces and just have them go down the whorehouse down the street and have real fun. I mean, they want to fuck with these people. Why not just pay for it?
Yeah.
They don't seem to have much moral judgment anyway.
In a booming voice, I do not shout at them, but I make myself heard. Well, even though you look like bandits, at first glance, I know you only want to have fun, sing and dance. But rather dance with us, we know what we're doing, and these people should better be going. And I string my lyre and try to impress the satyrs.
I cast prestigitation behind you to cause a chroma effect from the sun to radiate off you to make you look more godlike and intimidating, and then sparks flying out from your mouth as you enunciate your P's, T's, and S's.
Oh, brother.
Should I roll perform with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no such thing as a double advantage, I would guess.
No.
We'll just see what comes.
Do that performance.
She has some improvement works on me.
Yep. 19 on a performance. The satyrs were so impressed that they kind of like stop what you're doing, slowly back away, and book for the hills.
Now look what you've done. You scared them away.
I thought they start dancing.
They just wanted to have fun. Where are they going?
Oh well, I'll go and see to the couple and the kids and make
Yes,
sure
they kind of like
fine.
were panting a little bit. They kind of like they're panting a little bit. Oh, thank goodness you've come. These satyrs, I shudder to think what they would have done to the children, let alone us.
No
But they're
worries, we couldn't very well let a few peasants just be harassed like that.
Fair enough.
These are not peasants, these are people. Respect them as people. Treat them
I
as
do
equal.
respect them.
We've the couple introduced themselves as Randor and Nat Hara Bright Earth, and the three and she nods over to their three children there. They were glad to they were so glad that you were able to help them, and they wondering if you can ask them to assist them in or to arrive to a village known as Frickley, which will be listed on the number 2 on your map.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that far from where we are going.
Mm-hmm. You notice that the cart is full of furniture and other household items, but they were happy to make room for the.
No, I walk. I
Alright.
sort of like say, no, let the children and yourself, madam, ride in the carriage. I have 2 legs. I shall use them.
Mm-hmm.
I check on the husband and see how he is coping with the trauma of being attacked.
I almost the last time I heard about oh man, glad those were out of the way. I heard what happened to the last person who ran across satyrs. He found himself locked inside a jester's motley, can do nothing but dance and speak in rhymes. Ugh. Shudder to think what that will do to the missus.
I know the feeling. I'm looking over at Sir Elendar. Head chuckles.
But I thought, John, you look like a young, strapping man. Surely you could have protected your family quite well. You must know some sort of skills.
It was those pipes that just plain it was like fingernails on chalkboard. I couldn't. It just overwhelmed me with terror, And they were.
They were.
I mean, they and I shudder to think what they'd do to us and the kids if they ever got a hold of us and they took us to their camp. Even though some people would love wine, woman, and song until they croak, it's just not my thing.
Alright, we shall escort you to your village, good sir. Tell me,
Yes.
are you moving from your previous village to
Yes,
a new village?
Have you heard what happened with Nightstone?
Did we come from Nightstone?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
You
Yes.
probably heard what happened. It's a bunch of giants, about a dozen feet tall, just plain attacked that place.
Do you know why?
I don't know why. I heard about a couple. I heard that there was another giant with them. His name was Jaeger Born Crusher. He had, but they said that. They were. Well, excuse me, backing up. From what I have. What you probably didn't know is that Nightstone was warned ahead of time. There was another giant who was there to that visited the village. Dozen feet tall, fat like you've never seen. His name was Jaeger Bone Crusher, and he claimed that Nightstone had 2 days to bring him all the food in the village. Every last scrap. If he didn't find another way, and if we didn't find another way to fill his body, we were pretty sure what we meant by that. It was we just had to leave. We took up everything that belonged to me and just booked out. But then it was a good thing we did too, because as we were leaving Nightstone, I saw a bunch of cloud castles appear above the village and rocks climbing down. I thought it was the same group that Jaeger was in. It just no.
Oh, do not worry. Your trauma is over for now. Let us walk to your village and get you all rested up. Are you with me, my friends?
Well, I noticed that there's a brother who lives in Frenkie, so we decided to move there. At least seemed like a good idea until we ran into those satyrs.
What is your name, good folks?
So you decided to just head on over to Frickley here?
Yep. Yes.
Alright. You come across, you notice that the main gate has been it's just a small, sleepy village of about 30 houses that sits within a 10-foot wooden palisade. You notice that it's been hastily patched up and held together with rope. So it was easier for you to untie the knots and enter. But if you look for... Well, is anyone looking for traps?
Oh, always.
You look for tracks. You notice that there were some giant footprints in the dirt near the gate.
Heading in or out?
Going in and out. You, as you come in, it seems deserted at first, but once you go closer, as you progress, and you come to an inn called the Blue Duke, that's when you hear a lot of raised voices coming in.
Approach the building and try and listen to what's being said.
Indeed.
Just a bunch. You just hear a bunch of people talking to talking over each other like crazy.
Does it sound more like an argument, or does it sound like a heated discussion?
Very heated discussion. There's just you hear that there were some more giants running about.
Okay, is this like is this like a tavern?
Yeah, it's a tavern.
What kind of doors does it have?
Basic swinging doors.
Okay, so I'll purposely walk in and make the door slam and stand tall.
All the hubbub stops, and they just plain looks right at you.
You are all talking over each other, and nothing is being said or done in any order. Perhaps it's time for a noble to step in and organize things.
Oh, so it appears that oh man, adventurers, we could use some help. We have we just had a paid visit from a hill giant named Bone Crusher. He demanded all the food in the village, or else. I think the last time I heard that from what happened from a neighboring standpoint, he will either eat up all the food or he will eat up all the villagers, and then most of them, and at that point they hear some nods and some murmurs and saying, but nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing rising above anyone's hearing. We have two the villagers here are a bunch of the two camps. Some wanted to some wanted to give in to the giant's demands, while others just want to bolt leave the village. Wait a minute. Whoop.
I am Sir Scrawl. I am Sir Scrawl of the House Shintar. This is Sir Elendar? Bryn? Bayushi and what's your character's name? Aaron? Arnie. We can help you if you want to tell us what's going on and when this gentleman is supposed to come back. And if anybody notices, the sword is still following me.
Yes, and they kind of like real much expected the actual adventurers, which one of the villagers. Wait. One of the villagers, Prello, just looked over and says, "Looks like we've got ourselves a third option. We got people who can help us fight for our homes." I was just about ready to talk to someone who would help us, one known as Gaia Giant Slayer. And then they just plain looked over, but we can use all the help we can get.
Who is this Gaia Giant Slayer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, who is he, and tell us about him.
Prolo says there, she grew up, Jaya, she grew up here a long time ago, but left while she was still young to pursue a career in adventuring. Her most famous deed was single-handedly killing a frost giant that has been terrorizing a clan of dwarves up in the Sword Mountains. Hence her name. Hence she earned the nickname of Giant Slayer. She returned from a traverse many years ago, but she decided to live in an isolated college in the foothills, near what's known as Reaping Rock. There's a track that is that'll take you to there, but it's very dangerous to traverse due to the presence of my wild fey magic. That talked about a couple talked that gives meanwhile that gives us a little bit more discussion. One of the voices overheard and says she either some will claim that she's either dead or very old by now, but then he says, if the party will go and fetch her, I'll give you a cache of pearls that you might be needing. I can also take you there.
Sounds like a good offer, good man. All right.
And how many?
Appreciated, but you do not need to pay us. It is our duty to help the small folk.
Indeed.
Yes.
All donations to Tempest will be appreciated.
Well, then we'll make the we'll then give the whatever donations you need. It says there it wouldn't take you long to do this little quest for us if you leave in them. Well, let's see here.
When is he supposed to return?
Well, if you leave in the morning, you'll be able to return before nightfall, and it'll probably be about 2 days before Bone Crusher returns.
All right. So instead of payment, can we receive lodging and
Yes, that's
food and drink in the meantime?
Yes, as the crowd disperses, and the innkeep gladly would gives you room and board. And he said that I know that he's new to adventuring, but I figured my one of my attendants, a young half-elf named Braille, he knows the place like the back of his hand, and can lead you through the path pretty well.
But before we go, though, tell me, good sir, how many men and women of this little town know how to use a bow and arrow?
You probably have about 30 some odd people who know how to. They mostly the village is mostly farmers and hunters.
Okay, I'll say to the hunters, one, I've got an idea. Sit down. Before we go, I wish, and the farmers too, try and get some. If you've got shovels or spades or whatever you can, dig yourself a large ditch in front of this town, the biggest one you can dig, as big as you can. Into the 2 days arrive. Cover the hole with leaves and foliage, making a booby trap with spikes at the bottom. Hopefully, if the giant does come, and perhaps his foot will fall down into a hole and pierce his foot with spikes, helping us to shoot him whilst he is perhaps stunned or pinned in this little trap that you have devised in 2 days. I know it is not long, but perhaps if you put hard work into it and make this trap happen, we can perhaps take this down, this great mighty foe, and all of you will be giant slayers like the great lady of the mountains.
You got about 50 able-bodied persons kind of like nodding. That sounds like a good idea. And that's and it just gives them something to do to get the stress off, while you do your little trek.
Okay, that's what I'll just tell him. Just tell him what to do to build this trap, and then I get up and say, "Okay, lead us away to this This lady who can kill giants.
Let's see here.
I walk up to the bartender while he's discussing the plan of the spikes and the stuff to help hurt the giant, and I ask him or her if they are in possession of a very strong alcoholic liquid, and if they have any cloth laying around.
Oh, and he says, Molotov cocktails. We can make a lot of that in our sleep.
Yes, and give those to the farmers that may not know how to use bows and arrows, and the women if they want to help as well. So when the giant is stuck in the hole, or at least stunned from it, they can throw it at its feet or its body and hurt it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yep. All right, so that's what's the innkeep decides to do that. At this point, I have a little bit of a question here. At this point, it's at the next morning. We have a bunch of it's kind of like a set path and everything. But at this point, I barely had need to have some time to prepare. If you don't mind, if we can. I'd like to stop now so I can do the little preparations. And I know it's early, but like I said, I am I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here, and there are a bunch of encounters coming up that I need to set up and work into this map.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm sorry to disappoint you like this, but that's just something that I have to do.
That's fine.
No problems, man. Hey,
But we can just talk about stuff, for the rest of the time. I didn't. What you probably didn't know about Bayushi's mask. I mean, I did tell him that it was kind of. Its house. I mean, it's a house of. I mean, a spirit inhabits this mask, which is why it was able to make some expressions and all that, move its mouth and all.
it's an Armani.
Yeah. And I was, hi there, Stubby06. It probably, I don't know how much input this Yoma, this little Yoma or something, whatever it is.
Ibarani.
Ibarami,
Ibarani
yeah.
is basically is a spirit item.
Yes,
It has a spirit inside it.
Right. How this spirit comes into play is completely up to whatever happens in the campaign. It could provide a save in case of a TPK, and you probably will encounter a couple TPKs because we're going to be dealing with a lot of giants, including your first encounter with one coming up in this little side quest.
That is why I'm preparing villages for these little traps and little
Yes,
trinkets.
yes. Very, very bright, and you got a couple of them. Yeah, I have a couple of good ideas with good plans and stuff.
Yeah, Warren, do you want to go over that thing with getting your character set up for the initiative thing?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that.
And while we're
Also,
doing that, we can fix up your fix up character sheets and stuff.
Yep, I was
Yeah,
going to
okay.
say that too.
Now, hold on. Let me cut and paste something for you.
Which one? Okay, which one of you thought of the Molotov cocktails?
I did.
Arnie, okay.
All right, Warren, in the chat, I just posted something in the default chat channel on TeamSpeak.
Delivering up some bonus XP.
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I copied it.
Okay. Now, go into your abilities and attributes. Do you see the initiative? Do you have an initiative macro there?
I'm looking.
Under abilities. It would be under abilities.
Pressing the gear on the character sheet, right? Or is that under core?
Nope. It's under the core. It's under the core. It's not under the core. It's up on the character sheet. You see bioinformation, character sheet, attributes, and abilities.
It's a tab at the top of the page.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Okay. On the far right side, you should see something called abilities. Do you have anything under that?
Just new ability 0 shows its token action is checked on it.
Okay. Go into the editor. There's a little pencil next to it. If you highlight near it, that's the edit button.
Yep, copied and pasted that there.
Okay, yeah. Now, what is your initiative bonus? Do you know what your dex bonus is?
It is a 1.
Okay, so that's perfect. Don't have to change anything. And instead of having new ability, just turn that to initiative. And you should see it show as token action, right?
Yep.
Now, that should all you should. That's all you have to do. Now, close out of that. And now, do we have your token someplace? Yeah. Okay, you have your token up there. Click on your token, and you should see the upper left-hand corner next to the midden thing and the arrow and the measurement stick and everything. A little initiative button. Do you see it?
No, what I see is a red 13, green 11, green 30, a gearbox, and a coin.
No. Click on your character sheet, on the icon, and then look up on the page itself, next to where the select move is, the draw shape, the zoom, the measuring stick, the dice roller thing, and the question mark.
Ah, I see what you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
Do you see the little button? There should be a little initiative button up there. Do you see it?
No, I do not.
You don't see it.
Yeah, click on your token.
Click on your token.
Yep.
Then do you see it up there?
I see a question mark, a dice roller thing, ruler, a view finder thing, a draw, and then the select pan and stuff.
Is the turn order covering it?
I think you haven't said show as token. Probably need to look over at your macros and find out which initiative is where. Reopen your initiative macro and select show as token action.
Is the turn order covering it by any chance?
No, I just moved that.
Okay. So you move that and your character's still highlighted, right? Your token?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's right. Go into your character sheet and go to the macro section, and you should see someone that says show as icon, token icon, and click it. Make sure it's checkmarked.
So in other words, like, go to where it says attributes and abilities, and then you'll see the abilities, and you'll see like 2 boxes one saying show as a macro bar, and then one next to it saying show